Hi and welcome to Belgian Diecast Restorations. I'm Johan and today we have another very nice Corgi model on the turntable. This is the Aston Martin DB4, number 218 in the Corgi range. Lazilo Collectibles did the same model a couple of weeks ago. Please check out his channel with a link in the description. My Aston Martin is slightly older and as you will see there are quite some major differences in the casting compared to the newer one on Lazilo's channel. First we have the older riveted wheels. To simulate the spoked wheels of the real DB4, Corgi added some not very convincing stickers for the hubs. Not a lot remains of those stickers. The model still has all four of its original tires, but one is cracked, so this will need to be replaced. Overall the model is play-worn and the bonnet is loose, so we'll have to take a look at what happened there. So let's get out the tools and give this model a factory reset. The model is held by 3 rivets. Corgi rivets are domed and I first give them a deeper dimple with my spring-loaded nail punch to give some support for my drill. Then I drill the rivets out and remove the bottom plate. Immediately I can see why the bonnet came loose. The spring under the bonnet is not riveted and the only thing holding it in place is the support in the bottom plate. When I remove the interior, we see that the same happened to the window unit. The post that should have been riveted is clean and factory fresh. Someone at the Corgi factory line apparently dozed off. The bottom plate holds the suspension rods and the 2 axles with the wheels. The front axle is removed easily. In the rear, the posts of the suspension have been crimped. I open them up with a screwdriver and pry out the rear axles. The interior, the window piece and the wheels will get cleaned and polished. The body, the bottom plate and the bonnet depart for the paint stripper. I have spare tires for this model. These are 15mm tires that fit Corgi in dinky models. I leave a link to the parts in the description. If I replace the one broken tire, this will stand out, so better to replace all 4. The 3 good tires will of course go into the parts drawer. The caustic soda did a great job. Most of the paint is gone. The body, bonnet and bottom plate just need a polish with a wire brush to prepare them for painting. Now that the bonnet is stripped and polished, I can clearly see the dent in the front, almost like someone hammered on it with a pointy object. Before I can start priming, I fill the dent with Delary putty, then sand it flush with the surface. Next I drill a 1.5mm pilot hole in all 3 rivet posts. The post in the front is quite shallow, so I have to be careful that I don't drill through the engine. The front post will get a 3mm long screw. Both rear rivet posts will get 2 5mm long screws. The body, bottom plate and bonnet are primed with AK Interactive Grey Primer. The body and the bonnet are then sprayed in flame red. The bottom plate is airbrushed in AK Interactive Blue-Grey, and since it was a bit too light, I added a few drops of Vallejo Black for the second and third coats. Before I can apply the clear coat, I paint in the details on the body. The engine, the head and tail lights, the bumpers and the front grille. The tail lights on these earlier models were also colored, especially the indicators. I paint the indicators in clear orange and the tail lights in clear red. And finally I go over the painted parts with Vallejo polyurethane gloss varnish. When I spray the bottom plate, something goes wrong. The varnish pools like water on a greasy surface. I don't know what caused this, but my guess is that there was still some chemical residue in the bottle I used for mixing the paints. Nevertheless, I have to start over for the bottom plate. This time I sprayed in Vallejo Grey Hobby Paint, which is a primer and coat in one, and I give the bottom plate a final clear coat with the same Vallejo polyurethane varnish. This time the clear coat sticks neatly to the paint. These old Corgi interiors are made of very thin plastic that cracks or dents easily. Just a gentle clean will do. The wheel hubs are scrubbed with isopropyl alcohol to remove most of the glue left from the stickers. Then I go over the hubs and axles with a wire brush, and finally I use some metal polish and a polishing tool to polish them to a mirror shine. The window unit is in great shape. Apparently the model hasn't been played with a lot. I polish it with plastic polishing compound to remove any scratches. The paint is cured and all the parts are cleaned and polished, so let's reassemble the car. First, I attach both axles back to the bottom plate by gently lifting up the suspension spring. Instead of crimping the supports for the suspension rods, I fix the rear part of the suspension in place with some super glue and baking soda. Always be careful not to get this stuff on the axles or wheels if you want them to turn. Then I attach the new tires to the hubs. Next I attach the bonnet, and since I don't have the means to make a rivet like in the Corgi factory, I glue the suspension spring in place with super glue and baking soda. My super glue tube was clogged and a lot spills out. Luckily it stays in place and I can apply the baking soda. I would have preferred a smaller amount of super glue, but luckily this part is invisible and the bonnet will be kept in place. Next I drop in the window piece. This is held in place by the interior and the bottom plate, so no need to fix it in place. Finally I drop in the cleaned interior and we can close up the model with the 3 screws. I used 2 new screws for the rear as one of the screws was really tight and I damaged it trying to get it out. This Aston Martin DB4 was play-worn and had some bad luck at the Corgi factory. The spring of the bonnet and the window weren't riveted. This resulted in the bonnet coming loose maybe only days after its little owner received it. So I took the opportunity to open up the model and restore it back to factory settings. And here's our model after restoration. The new flame red is very close to the original red and the car has the same silver detailing as it got at the factory. I took a small liberty with the taillights, which I colored in the appropriate orange and red instead of just orange. The bonnet has been properly attached this time and the interior, window and wheels are cleaned and polished. Don't forget to check Lazilo's restoration to see the differences between both models. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and tick that notification bell. More restorations are coming up. See you in the next video.